Hey everybody, Donnie here. Excuse me. And today I am going to give you some Resident Evil 6 DLC and onslaught tips. I've just noticed a lot of people don't really seem to know how to play, so I'm gonna try to show some people what to do and what not to do. So first off, what you really want to do is you want to run around and get all your items. You just want to get all 3 of the herbs, because in every round there's always 3 herbs. Break everything that you can find and pick up all your explosives and incendiary grenades. Stuff like that. And in every, yes, by the way, in every stage there is a first aid spray, which will come in handy. So what you're supposed to do is, for 10 minutes, it's a 1 versus 1. You and one other person have their own stage completely to themselves, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to fight never-ending amounts of enemies, including the enemies that you send over. How you send enemies over is if you lose a combo or if you taunt. Now what happens when you taunt, you get your stamina back, it fills up your stamina gauge, you send all of your enemies over that you have in a combo, and you get 50% offensive bar. Your offensive bar increases your damage depending on how much percentage you have going on. You start off at 100, which is basically your even amount of damage. You can go up to 300%, which basically is one hit kill with anything and everything, except for pistols and some machine guns and stuff like that. So, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to kill as many enemies as you possibly can and survive while doing it. You get at least 9 to 10 herbs, give or take, unless you're a lucky one and you get more, or someone drops something, or a basket drops it, and you get 1 first aid spray. How this works is that as you go out, you can reach a 30 combo before all your enemies go over to your opponent. There are predetermined, I guess you could say, times before more enemies spawn. Like, you have about maybe 30 seconds until more enemies pile on you over and over again. As the time continuously goes, oh my god, I can't talk. The enemies change depending on the combo. So when you first start off, you won't have anything big. You'll just have maybe a little mini boss, and then after a few minutes, you'll probably get the bigger enemies. And each stage consists of different enemies and bosses. So right here, I got my stamina back, I got 50%, and I got all my enemies went through. The reason why I did that was because I was gonna lose the combo regardless. So, because I tried mailing that guy and I failed, and I didn't have enough time to bring out the magnum. So if you're gonna lose a combo, there's no enemies around you, or you know you're gonna lose it, just go ahead and taunt. It'll make your opponent much more harder to survive because of all the enemies that are spawning, and it will give you 50% extra offense, and it gives you full stamina, so it's really good to do if you ever pay attention to how many enemies you have. So, recommended abilities, I use Pharmacist because you only get 9 to 10 tablets. So if you multiply that by 2, that's basically 2.5 lives, basically. So it's actually really, really useful, because as soon as you eat 1 tablet, you get 2 back. Recommended for, if you are using Pharmacist, if you're under 3, heal once so you can get 2 back. If you are at 4, heal back to full health. But right now I'm at 2 and I don't heal, because I know as of right now there isn't an enemy that can hit me for 4 blocks of health. Later on there will be, so you'll have to be more careful, but you know, you can get a little cocky as you go through the first few minutes. So the basic strategy I'm using is just my usual: go around, get everything, and then basically just run around in a circle and kill enemies as I go, and try to keep as much distance between me and my enemies as much as I possibly can. Now, keeping your distance is one thing. You can go in and melee a few things if you have a bunch of smaller enemies. By all means, go for it. Just be careful. And there are various ways you can counter these shield guys. You can punch them once, then coup de grace them, or you can slide into them. Coup de grace give you 30% extra offense instead of 20%. That's the only difference. If you were to kill someone with a counter, you still get 20%, so don't get your hopes up. So 20% for every type of melee except coup de grace. They give you 30%. Keep that in mind. So if you're fighting against the Java, do what I just did there. Quick fire, slide, coup de grace. Gives you 30%, which is very good. Now when you're out of stamina, keep your distance as much as you possibly can. Various ways you can get stamina back is taunting, but in this you don't want to do that because you will lose your enemies. There also are snipers here, I forgot to mention. Like, only very few of them spawn though, so you just need to watch out for your cursor. And I got a headshot off him. I was actually really shocked by that. How you can tell, you see how my name is green on underneath my combo meter and his is red? How this goes is if you're at green, you're above 2 tablets, you have 6 tablets. If you lose 2 tablets, you'll still be at green. If you're 3 tablets lost or under, you'll be yellow. If you have 1 tablet or less, you will be at red. Now when someone is blinking red, that means they are dying. Which means if they are dying, basically when you die in onslaught very late in the game, you're kind of screwed. Because there's not much really you can do, and depending on which weapon you're using, you know, whichever weapon you have in hand, which most likely will be like your weaker weapon because you don't want to use your big top weapons, so keep that in mind. There are, for each round there's propane tanks or TNTs. Catacombs has TNT instead of propane tanks. Right here, I was just asking this guy which map he wanted because he lost. I was just trying to be nice. He never got back to me, so I switched the stage all on my own. So, there are various strategies to this game, and each strategy consists of your abilities and which character to use. The recommended abilities, as I said before, is Farm Assist, or actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me go back to my previous statement. If someone's blinking red and they lose their combo, and it doesn't go up to 30, that obviously means they're either running away and getting as much distance as they can to heal, or they're trying to get away as quickly as possible to set themselves up for an explosive kill, or to do something tricky to try to kill them all. Or they're just gonna try to run away for the rest of the match and just kill them with explosives and try to hope that they drop a herb. But if they lose their combo and they're dying, you can usually tell, and that's usually when you can win. So if someone's blinking red, try to run away for a little bit and try to keep as much distance as possible just in case they come back and you're like getting really cocky so you don't die. Cockiness can get you killed in this game, which is actually a funny ending because I got really cocky and I died. But I kept the video anyway just because I thought people would get a kick out of it. So the strategy I'm using now works very well for this. You can use it with Sherry or Ada. Pretty much whoever has a stun rod, which I think is only Sherry and Ada. I don't think Helena has one, to my knowledge. No, she does. Excuse me, Helena does have one, I think. So pick whichever one you usually use, or which one you like more, or which one, you know, just whatever. This strategy doesn't consist of grabbing everything first. This strategy is really kill dependent. Now the problem with this, there's a flaw with this strategy. This strategy, you must, excuse me, you must have a good player against you, and you must be really good at using this stun rod. How you use this strategy is you basically just go around and have a day with the stun rod, and you try to keep your offensive meter 200 or higher, and every time you hit a zombie or Java, I think you can use this with the Java as well. It's just easier with the zombies, especially in this stage because they have dynamite zombies here. But every time you hit a zombie with a stun rod, they burn to death, and if they're constantly burning, they'll die sooner or later. So you can run away from them and they can burn. It also makes it easier because every time you quick fire with it, you automatically set everyone up for a melee, and you can just do a group melee. The reason why Ada is recommended for this is because her melee has really high length. When you're out of stamina, just do your usual. When it comes to these guys, just try to position yourself to hit their head. It will burn through their armor, but it won't always work. Also, with these dudes, you can actually, a lot of people don't know, you don't have to shoot their head, you can shoot their, what do you call it? You can shoot their legs. Their legs aren't armored as much. But to do this strategy very efficiently, you need to get out of there where I was as quickly as possible, and you need to have the shooting loud effect. What shooting loud does, it gets rid of your cursor or your laser sight, so you can't aim properly, but it increases your damage by I think 50%. This also includes melees. No, I don't think it includes melees. I think it just stands for your weapons and grenades. Now, when you're using the stun rod strategy against bloodshots, it works out very well because every time you quick shot with the stun rod, they get on their knees and you can coup de grace them. So it's really, really helpful. And everyone hates bloodshots anyway, so him smacking them with a rod that sets them on fire and then kicking the living crap out of them is really, really enjoyable. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind, you always need to stay calm during onslaught. Never panic. If you're about to lose a combo, it's perfectly fine. The more enemies you send over to your enemy, the better, just so they get really, really out of hand and you have to do whatever it takes possible for them to, you want to make them panic. If you're not calm, you're obviously not going to do that well. So, going back to the strategy, because the explosive zombies come back, the reason why it really depends on your enemy, or your opponent, excuse me, is because they have a... I'm talking really weird now. Sorry, guys. I have a very short attention span. As you go up in combos, your different types of zombies and Java will show up. There's usually a mini boss and a boss. For this stage, the powered up zombies are the armored dudes, the armor guys, the firemen guys with the nitrogen tanks, and enemies with explosive dynamite. You basically just want to go around meleeing all the bloodshots with the stun rod and the armor guys because it burns through them and can kill them. You want to shoot out the iguanas with pretty much any weapon you choose. You want to melee the dogs with the stun rod as well, because it's a one-hit kill with pretty much anything in dogs in competitive mode. And mercenaries, I forgot to mention. And get rid of the shriekers as quickly as possible. The shriekers can do good and bad. The shriekers scream. Every time they scream, not only does it make you flinch, but it makes enemies more... it makes the enemy AI a little bit more intelligent. It makes them much, much more harder to fight. Because it makes their, it makes them more vigorous, I guess would be the proper word. It makes them more angry. But if you manage to shoot their throat out, you can actually do some, it pretty much damages everyone, but it also makes them angry as well. So you really need to be, like, really decisive with what you want to do. The shriekers drop, the mini-bosses drop what you want, which are the, weapons. The weapons that drop, the first weapon that drops is a Magnum, the Elephant Killer, and then a rocket launcher. The Magnum is much more handy than the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher you usually just want to use if there's a cluster of bosses, or if you're in an SOS and you want to try to keep the combo going, or if you're far away enough and high enough to see all the enemies and just kill a bunch of them. Shot that propane tank because I was about to lose the combo. Now obviously each map is smaller and bigger, and each map is different, so the items will scatter depending on how big the map is. And you'll find more or less as the bigger it is. Like here, everything, you'll usually find 2s of grenades, and like you'll find an herb right next to like 2 grenades and stuff like that. And the bigger ones you find like 1 of each by itself and stuff like that, so keep that in mind with the bigger ones like Creature Workshop and stuff. Mining the Depths and the Catacombs are the 2 smallest maps in the whole game for any type of mode. So I basically have all the weapons I'm going to get now. The Elephant Killer is basically a one-hit kill, so keep that in mind. The rocket launcher obviously is a one-hit kill, but you need to be careful with it because you can put yourself in dying. So make sure you're at optimal distance. Otherwise, you'll kill yourself, and that's not fun anymore. Oh, and whenever there's electric units, they usually show up in the smaller maps. It comes in very good handy to run back there. I tried shooting this guy's tank and I like failed so hard, so I just eliminated him. Because the things recharge after every like 45 seconds, so you can run back there and immediately shoot off, because it's a one-hit kill on all the smaller enemies like Bloodshots and the pretty much all the smaller enemies, but they do not kill the mini bosses and the big bosses unless you weaken them. And one thing I forgot to mention, each stage has their own variation of bosses and mini-bosses. The ship one that I was just on, the mini-boss, I don't think they have the mini-bosses. Most Java maps don't really have mini-bosses. Some of them do, some of them don't. But the boss for that were the bees. The Java usually consist of the bees or the chainsaws as the bosses. I think there are nade pads in the ship one, but I don't think I didn't get any because he didn't get a 30 combo. The only way you can get mini bosses is like going past 25, and if you get a 30, you'll send like 2 mini bosses and then a boss. So keep that in mind. Right here, I just decided to use the rocket launcher because I heard a few Bloodshots jumping up, and then all those guys are right there. So I was like, might as well waste it because I never use it anyway. Like really, everyone thought like, oh my god, a rocket launcher, but hardly anyone ever used it because it's actually not that useful. And right there, everyone just exploded. So getting back to the strategy, if you have a good player going up against you, that was a failed counter on my part. If you're going up against a good player who can get a 30 combo, the strategy works out really well. And if you have Shooting Wild, I'm kind of happy I didn't bring it though, because I was like, this guy is not that smart. Or he's not smart, he's just not that good of a player, or he's a bit noobish. Actually, playing these 3 rounds, I was just going to do this as a variation round, and then I was like, you know what? Playing against people like this guy right here really makes me want to make a tutorial video for everyone. You know what I mean? Oh, countering doesn't increase your meter either, if I didn't mention that already. It's just good because it gives you a very long invincibility frame, so always go for that, I guess. That's basically it for this strategy. I'm trying to think. Oh, the combo bonuses. Whenever you shoot a combo bonus, it doesn't increase your score like it normally does with Mercenaries. It gives you unlimited amount of time for your combo. So basically, for about 45 seconds, you can run around with a 20-knot combo and not have to kill anything. The combo will stay, which is pretty nice. Right here, I was just saying, screw it, I'm just gonna magnum everything just because I got ammo for it. So, what you want to do is just constantly, never stay still in one area. Always move. Do not camp at one spot. It will get you killed. The do's are basically just try to keep your distance, I guess, and try to use the environment as well as you can. And your grenades and your remote bombs are your best friend. Flash grenades stun everyone, so you can do coup de grace or you can do regular melees. Incendiary grenades are a one-hit kill if anyone walks into it or anyone gets hit by it. This guy didn't have any of the DLC maps, so I was doing catacombs just because a lot of people don't play this map often, and people who do, for noobs, you know, the noobs don't really understand what's going on because it's a dark map, you know, and stuff like that. And another reason why I'm doing this one in particular, I was gonna pick something else, but I was like, I better do catacombs for the tutorial video because the bosses here are a whooper, the whoopers, and more than one whooper can spawn. Like I said usually there's only 2, give or take, 2 mini bosses per 30 combo, but there can be at one point I had like 4 whoopers coming after me, and that was actually very terrifying. So the whoopers are the mini bosses, and I don't know how to say the freaking name. I call her Tits McGee just because it looks like she's got tits everywhere. It's basically the poisonous zombie that transforms people into zombies. You guys, people probably know what I'm talking about when you see her. Actually, no, you don't see her in this, because the guy never got a 30 combo. Always go over here first, just because that zombies, there's only one pot, 2 pots, and there's always going to be a zombie over there. There is a really cool strategy that you can do with Leon's original costume. You basically just want to get all your, get all the enemies, kill all your enemies with coup de grace or anything like that, and get your offensive meter up to 100, or 300, excuse me, and basically take out your dual pistols and just start firing like it's no one's business. You will actually, it actually works very well. I do it a lot. Right here. Okay, one time I failed a match 1 minute in because I went under there and I didn't even think the zombies were smart enough to crawl under there and kill you. And if they hit you while you're crawling, you'll stand up and you'll get hit by the blades and you'll go into dying state. And there's too many zombies to kill at one point, and you're basically screwed. So if you're gonna go for that herb, make sure there's a lot of distance, or make sure you're really quick with the grabbing it and sliding out. So with these zombies get the body armor that you cannot shoot through. You can shoot through it if you have maybe a powerful rifle, like the anti-material rifle or a magnum. So, you know, just keeping that in mind. In my opinion, this map is the smallest map in the whole entire game because there's only pathways. There's no big, gigantic open area like Mining the Depths. You have that hole downstairs. So, stay on your toes when you're on this part. I shot that guy. I guess he was really weakened from the fire. Countering these guys isn't hard either, so countering is actually really good. Oh, for anyone who hasn't noticed, every time your opponent's zombies spawn or Javo, they will always spawn right on top of you, right wherever you were standing. So keep that in mind. There's no really good strategy to this. There is that air conditioning unit thing up there, right where I was, right to the right of me if you go up that ramp. And there's a few TNT things, and you have the spike trap. The only problem is that, well, here's the problem. One zombie can go over there completely undetected, and you won't even know it because they spawn over there. So if you're gonna go to my right and try to go see if there's a zombie where controlling the spikes or not, and you're trying to lead all the zombies over there to kill the spikes, normally it won't ever really work. Because like if you sit here and there's spikes coming up, obviously you're not gonna run over there because you'll go into dying state. But the problem is that there'll be so many zombies coming after you that turning around might be like a death. Like you see how that zombie spawned right there. So it's really hard to go through there sometimes. So yeah, I wasn't expecting him to last too long. After seeing his other plays, I was like, this guy's probably not going to last that long at all on this map. But I wanted to show it to you guys just to see how difficult it can be to survive. So, I basically cleared up everything I said about this game mode. Farm Assist and Shooting Wild are probably your best, it's probably your best bet to use here. So I guess I can just go on and ramble about the whole characters. Leon is pretty good. Both Leons, his costumes and stuff like that. You can do some pretty cool strategies with the first Leon, like as I said, he's got the regular pump action shotgun and the wing shooter and a survival knife. Leon's costume has grenades, the machine gun with the baton, what am I talking about? The machete, not the machete, what the frick is wrong with me? Bayonet, God. And he's got the bolt action sniper rifle. I'm using Helena 1 right now. I completely missed that herb and I derped. Helena is probably one of my favorite characters because she's got the picador, and the picador is my all-time favorite pistol. It's just fantastic. It's powerful, it's fast, and I just love it. And Helena is like my favorite character in this game. Helena does not have her grenade launcher. People keep in mind. She has her Hydra and her picador. That's it. Now, I did not know this up to till now, and I've never lost on this map before dying until this game, because this is where I died. this match, I mean, not like right here. There is a first aid spray at the back of that train. I noticed at the corner of my eye when I was running through away from the chainsaw guy. And you'll see me like turn around and go get it, and I was like, oh my god, I've never seen this before. They hit it really well for me because I ran right out of the train just to go get it. Like if you went through the door and then turned to your right, it's literally sitting right there. I was like so surprised. I was like, oh my god, I never noticed that before. But and I think I think the ship map that I was on my first match, I think that's the only one that doesn't have them. But there are various amounts of Javo, like the exploding ones, and then the ones that can shoot the red gas and stuff like that. I don't think they have those. This guy did a good job surviving. He survived to the end with me, and then I died, of course, which was very sad. So what you can do is what I just did. If someone is above you, you can get a melee prompt to grab their leg and smash the head off the pavement, or you can jump up and grab their face. Like if you're above them and they're below you, you can jump up and smash their face in. These things right here, those exploding things, will be your god. Will be like your savior, because their explosion is amazing. It can kill so many people, and they can save your combo a lot. Like look right here, 30 combo done. It was amazing. Now you get to see me fail at shooting this lovely propane tank, but I managed to kill the exploder thing. And if you kill an exploder thing by a propane tank, his explosion will not detonate it, so you don't have to worry. So I got an 8 combo there. Or a 7 combo from him. Which you'll see right here. I was like, I don't think they trigger them, because when they explode and you kill another one, they bounce, and the other one bounced right towards the propane tank and it didn't explode. So you don't have to worry about killing them right next to an explosive barrel. Now getting back to the characters. Helena one's really good. Her second one, she's got a stun rod, bolt action sniper rifle, and the ammo box. These things you have to be careful with, because their gas can make you cough constantly until it disappears or until you get out of it, so you can't do anything except run. So you can't even shoot or aim, you can't dodge roll, so keep that in mind. Kill them right away. They're the mini bosses, I think, because they drop the weapons. This stage you're gonna have to fight a chainsaw dude, so be careful. And I'll explain a cool strategy for him after I'm explaining the characters. So Helena 2 and Helena 1's very good. She's got some really sick weapons, and her melees are pretty quick too, so you don't really have to worry that much. Chris 1's very interesting. He's got 2 grenades, and I think he's got a trip iron mine too, or is that Piers? I can't remember. He only has his machine gun, and it's the only thing he has in a combat knife. Now, his machine gun is the most powerful machine gun in the game, I think, and it has a lot of ammo in it, but, you know, he's a really tricky character. Like right there, I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh my god, I never knew that before. I was like so surprised. Oh, what I'm doing right now, I forgot to explain this. You will run out of ammo sooner or later when you're using just a pistol character. For example, her or Carla. So you basically just want to keep running around. You backtrack where you killed a bunch of enemies and you pick up all your ammo. So yeah. So where I killed that other thing, the gas thing, an enemy, the Magnum spawned. So I was like, I wonder if they're the mini bosses. I mean, it does make sense because they don't do damage to you, but they do like make it possible for you to do virtually nothing. Like you can't shoot, you can't dodge, you can only run around and cough your head off. So I guess it does make sense. The Expire things, you can just go right up and melee them. You know, they're really easy to kill, it's just they're really fast, so yeah. But getting back to the characters again, because I keep getting sidetracked, I'm sorry. I mentioned before I have a small attention span, and I mean that with as much love as to myself as I possibly can, because I hate that about myself a lot. Yeah, Chris 1 is okay. but later on, like, you're not gonna be able to kill big bosses until you get the Magnum, basically. So, eh. And his second costume, his samurai one, he has his combat knife. I think he's got flash grenades, and he's got the assault shotgun. So he can't even perform melees unless you melee. Which I guess is okay, because at least with the combat knife you can quick fire. You can't do that with the survival knife, so it's better than nothing, I guess. Piers 1 has the pistol machine gun, which you can either be semi-automatic or automatic. In my opinion, it's better automatic. Semi-automatic is just weird. I don't know why people would want it that way. And he's got his anti-material rifle. Oh no he doesn't. Excuse me. They switched that. Yeah, they switched that. He does not have the in onslaught mode. Piers's first costume does not have the pistol machine gun. He has the samurai edge, or whatever you're supposed to call it. I call it the samurai edge. I completely forgot about that. And wait a minute, is it his second costume? No, that's weird. Yeah, he doesn't have the pistol machine gun anymore. Interesting. And his second one has the semi-automatic sniper rifle, the ammo box, and the assault shotgun. The second costume, so that's really good. Jake has a Jake 1. I think no. I can't remember if Jake 1 has the pistol machine gun, or his no, he has his pistol. Excuse me. He has a pistol and the Magnum, the Lightning Hawk, and he's got his hand-to-hand combat. Except he's actually really fun to use. Early game, you can just basically do the same stun rod trick. Just it's probably easier with the fists anyway, just because it's more stronger. I think it's just they don't burn. Let's see. His second costume's horrible. He's got a survival knife, semi-automatic sniper rifle, and a grenade launcher. I hate using his costume, which is why you guys probably never seen me use it. I hate it. Sherry's first one has the triple shot. You can either have it shoot 3 times or once. I usually use it to shoot once just to improve the accuracy. She's got a stun rod and the Lightning Hawk, so she's pretty good too. I like her. I use her a lot in this mode. Her second costume has she's the only person that has the, what do they call it? The Bear Stalker. She has, you know, the machine gun. She has, I think, 4 grenades. She has 1 grenade in, and then 1 grenade already in the actual clip, and then she has 3 spares. So there's the head thing that I was talking about. And she also has, her second costume also has a stun rod and the assault shotgun. So she's a fantastic character. I really like using Sherry's second costume. Carla has the grenade launcher with all 3 rounds and a picador, and I think she has a fruit. No, she does not. That's all she has, and I think she hasn't seen her grenades. Agent's horrible. He's got a pistol and a semi-automatic sniper and 2 tripwire bombs. So I heard him, I wasn't quick enough, and I died. Sad day. I lost. It's because I got cocky, so yeah, that's basically all of it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this helps you. Subscribe, comment, like, and I'll talk to you guys later.